Hello everyone, this is Dr. Hopkins with the next video for our first semester general chemistry class. This one's going to be about significant figures. So we're going to talk about measurements and significant figures in measurements. And anytime you make a measurement, there's going to be uncertainty. Okay, so we can't know a measurement to infinite number of places. We have to know, we can only know it so closely. And so there's no reason to write a number beyond this uncertainty. If we're writing the number from a measurement, as long as we're not counting or it's a defined value, there's no reason to write the number beyond the uncertainty of a measurement. And so we're going to write all measured values in terms of significant figures. And let's see, what I mean is, so if we've got, over here we have this little burette, and we have a measurement, and your solution may come up to one of these lines. Let's say it's in between two lines, right? So if this is a 0.1 and a 0.2, we might have this measurement be 11.15, right? And there's no reason, we're just estimating this number. There's no reason to write the number beyond that. So we would have, say, 4 significant figures in that particular measurement. And this would be with any measurement, if we're measuring length, etc. So when we write significant figures, and this is in the case even if we haven't made the measurement. If we make the measurement, we know how many significant figures based on our measurement. But otherwise, if we're writing or reading significant figures, there are some rules for that. And basically, all non-zero digits. So if you've bothered to write something that's not a zero, you are indicating that it's significant. Any zero after the decimal and after a non-zero is also significant. And here I show an example. So the fact that we write these 2 zeros after the decimal means that both of those are significant. So zeros after the decimal and before a non-zero are not significant. Basically, those are placeholders. So here we have an example, and we're talking about this one right here. That's not significant. It's just saying that the 3 is in the 100th place, not the 10th place. Right? So it's just holding the place. Zeros between non-zeros are significant. So if we're counting something like 1,002, these 2 zeros matter. Right, so both of those are significant. We would have 4 significant digits in that number, or significant figures. Trailing zeros before a decimal may or may not be significant. And so we have something like 40, or if we had 4,000, it could indicate that we have 1 significant digit. It could be 2 of them are significant. It could be 3. Here we have to have some other information. It is not unique. Sometimes you'll see where you might say, well, you have to write the decimal to indicate that they're significant. But that's very difficult to write, to signify that only 3 of them would be significant in a 4,000 measurement. So this is not a universal rule. Here you have to kind of guess, if you will. And actually the way to save from number 5 is that if you write any number in scientific notation, so any of these numbers here are all significant. The 10 and the power are not, but these are. And so if you want to avoid any ambiguity when you're writing something, use scientific notation, and then every number you've written, you're indicating has significance to the measurement. And so we can do a couple examples. So Sig Figs here, this one we have 2, where both of those are not. They're both placeholders. Here we have 3 Sig Figs and 205. If we write 205 with the decimal and the 0 after it, we are now indicating, because there's no reason to write that if we didn't know that it was significant, that we have 4 significant digits or significant figures in that measurement. And so if you use these numbers in calculations, so in an adding and subtracting, you basically, when you add them together, it doesn't matter how if they have multiple different numbers of significant digits. You just add them together and determine the final significant digits of the answer. And so if you're adding or subtracting, you'll round the answer to the same decimal place as the least, the number with the least number past the decimal place. So here we have an example, 25.0, where that only goes one place past the decimal, plus 3.25, where that goes two places past the decimal, is 28.25. That's how we would write that, but we know that it's not. Only 3 of these digits are significant, so if we were to write it to Sig Figs, it would be 28.2. Now I have that 5. I shouldn't have introduced that yet, but I'll talk about it later. Since it's a 5, we can round up or down. Most people will round to the even number, which was 0.2. You could round that to 28.3. It doesn't really matter. Obviously, those are two different answers, but that last digit is the uncertain digit. So it's the one where there should be uncertainty. And then when you're multiplying, you want to round the final number to the same number of significant digits or significant figures as the number with the least number of significant figures. So here we have 2 examples. So we have 2 times 4, right? That's 8. It would be 8.0 if we counted 2, but since that only has 1, we only have 1 here. Okay. Here, this one, 5.500, has 4. 11 has 2 digits, and so we would write the final answer to 2 significant digits, which is 60. We get 60.5, and actually, let me call up this last one. So if we've got 60.5, we have the same thing. So we want to round this. So this is not quite right. We're going to round it to 60 because that is the even number. It's okay to round to 61 in that case. All right, so here we have the example where we're talking about, so if we round up, anytime you have a 5 followed by some other number, and higher, you round up. 0.49 lower, you round down. At 0.5, you round to an even number. This is to an even number. But that's really more like a suggestion in that case. So in this video, we've talked about significant figures. They mean something with respect to the uncertainty in measurement. If you really want to remove any kind of doubt about the number of significant figures in a measurement, use scientific notation. And we've looked at how to track significant figures through a calculation. So until next time.